Getting in these holes, just turnovers or whatever else, how does that affect you guys in terms of game planning, play calling as a game?
Well, I think as a play caller, the biggest thing it does is just kind of takes you out of some of your original plans that you wanted to make, and not necessarily schemes or whatnot, but just in terms of how much do we throw it, how much do we run it. When you play from behind, you feel like that you got to press, make a big play, and get yourself back in the game. And that's why why there's been always such a huge emphasis on the start. If we can start fast, you can play ahead. Now all of a sudden you get more chances to run the football. You get more chances to, kind of do what you want to do. When you can play ahead or you're playing on even footing. But just obviously the start wasn't what we wanted it to be. Had some uncharacteristic things happen from some really good football players, and I know that that's not what they want to happen. I know those guys hurt just as bad as we do as a staff, and but we got to get those things corrected and we got to get them fixed.
Is that the most drops you've seen from this group of receivers? Do you think the weather is a factor?
It could probably be attributed to a lot of things, but we didn't do a great job. We got to pitch and catch, and that's one of the things as the system progresses and the longer that we're here, I feel like, you kind of don't have a choice but to enhance and make better, but you got to pitch and catch.
Frustrating because is that frustrating because the wide receivers seem like they've been progressing and haven't had a...
Oh, and they still are. This isn't a, break the glass in case of emergency type situation. We've got great receivers. They're coached incredibly well. Coach Kelly does a great job with them. They just didn't have their best day, and it just so happened to not have their best day on a really important football game on national TV. And nobody wants that. But no, I still believe in those guys, man.
Willie and Alec both mentioned simplifying things up front for the offensive line and maybe allow the running game to get going. Were you guys seeing things in the last few weeks that made you want to try to do some more complex stuff that you thought you were ready for?
No, I don't think we've ever been super complex. A lot of people would probably think the latter, that we don't do very much. I just minimize the scheme to make sure, especially with a group that's not real experienced, playing a bunch of different guys, just that we can just minimize as many looks as they can see in practice. Let's just run one or two schemes, and let's make sure that our guys have seen every look, every adjustment, and make sure there's not as much gray for those kids. And at least if there is some gray, that they've been there before, they've done it, and they can be comparable at it.
You guys had an opportunity to make it a much closer game when you guys didn't score down the red zone. Could you talk about that possession or that red zone trip and kind of where things went wrong?
Yeah, we had a 13, 14-yard run down to the inch line. A little bit of debate there on whether we scored or not. Went to a tempo inside zone. Didn't get a call made up front, that would at least help the front side. And then obviously we've got to manage the backside at quarterback there. On third down from the one, just want to put big bodies on big bodies. Got beat, on a slant across our face, didn't handle that great. And then on fourth down, obviously we didn't get that thing completed. And so from a situational standpoint, I think really the second down and then third down, not doing a great job with our big bodies, but we got to just keep putting those guys in those positions and get it corrected.
I think fans and media sometimes will say, well, you got Maureen Terry, why don't you just take some shots with him? What goes into that?
Yeah, I think what had happened in the game up to that game had not pitched and catch very well. When you got the ball on the 1 yard line, I think that the adage since I was probably, a 12-year-old little triple option quarterback doing it really poorly, the adage has always kind of been, if you can't gain a yard, you probably don't deserve it. And so I think that was kind of the mentality. Let's go find a way to get a yard. And we didn't get it done.
What's the name of that personnel package with Durden and Wilson?
Hippo. Big kids.
How much of that stuff is to try to keep these kids engaged in a tough season?
Absolutely. Create as much morale as you possibly can, create as many opportunities for kids to be a part of the football program as possible and know that they're counted on, so they're invested in practice and invested in game day.
Is that a way of rewarding those guys too? Because they have
a little bit. A little bit. Those guys. They've done a really good job for us. And obviously, what's happened the last few weeks. Nobody wants that to happen. And nobody expects that to happen. Nobody here. Our defense, played as probably well as any defense in the country, up until the last few weeks. You know what? They're going to get back. I know this. Coach Barnett is an unbelievable football coach. All right, and we've got really good kids. Okay, and with great coaches and great kids, they're going to find a way to get it done.
How far has Juwan come to get back in the lineup? Juwan Williams, how far has he come back to?
Yeah, I think again it's just injuries, being beat up, the mental continuity thing, and seeing him play with some confidence, really good for us. We need him to keep progressing, for the long-term future of the program, as opposed, and also for these next 2 weeks.